Hello. Welcome to ModeCast.
Welcome back to the ModeCast. It's Jeremy Mode here. Got another episode of the ModeCast edited. I've been slacking off still, but this one's done. This is from New Year's Day. Me and Ryan decided to record our conversation before everyone showed up to his house for our little pajama party. That's right, New Year's pajama party. And it was right after the Ronda Rousey fight happened. We talked about that a little bit. But for now, let's go ahead and move into our conversation.
Welcome to the ModeCast. It's a special ModeCast. I have Jeremy Roger Mode here with me.
Why is it special?
Because you're never usually here. Just my podcast.
What are you talking about? I'm never usually here.
Just sucking you. I think out of all the podcasts you've done, you only have been on one.
2.
And they've both been shitty as hell, probably.
No.
The only one I can think of is one at the house with Mike and Andy and all, so we're too hammered to even talk.
There was that one. That was the first one. And I guess the second one would be where I left early.
No, that doesn't count.
Why doesn't that count?
Because you were there for the majority of it.
Actually, no. I think I was there for like a half hour on like a 2-hour podcast.
Well, whoever didn't miss the UFC fight, Ronda Rousey lost. And I'm so happy because she's cocky as fuck. So that's the thing I was arguing with Jasmine about last night is she was like, yeah, but you like Conor, he's cocky as hell too. I'm like, yeah, but the thing about Conor is like he actually, if he were to lose, he would stay and do a post interview. That's what pisses me off the most. Like she can't even stay through the hand raising nothing. She has to be a poor sport and walk off right away.
Well, I think that a lot of the difference is that it's a character for Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
Like he's actually like a good, nice guy because everybody that I've ever heard talk about him just say he's the nicest fucking guy ever. And Ronda Rousey, like, that is who she is.
Yeah.
She's kind of a cunt.
Well, I watched this one YouTube video. Conor McGregor keeps driving by this guy's apartment. It's like 3 stories up. He has a Conor McGregor banner. And every time Conor drives by, he's like, you can hear him yelling Conor's names. He's like, I'm going to go up there and visit him. So his buddy recorded it. He went up there and the guy was like shitting his pants. Like the hugest Conor McGregor fan. Conor McGregor took his shoes off his feet, gave him his shoes, and just sat there and talked with him for a little bit.
Why do you give him his shoes?
Because because Conor McGregor has his own brand of shoes.
Like his own model of shoes?
Yeah.
Or like his own shoe company?
No, like he has his own model of shoes.
Okay, so like, for instance, like DC came out with a pair of shoes for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Like how each pro skater has their own model of shoe?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
okay.
I said that wrong. So,
like, damn, he has his own shoe company?
No.
They're mogul.
You're pretty volatile. Yeah, so she was like, yeah, but I don't understand. She's like, he's just as cocky. I was like, yeah, but he does it just to get inside people's head. He's not really... She's like, so you don't think he's that cocky? I was like, well, he's kind of that cocky when it comes to fighting, though. But I think you have to be that confident, though, to be a fighter in general. I was listening to Brendan Schaub. He was saying that if you don't go in the fight with 100% thinking that you're going to win, you're going to lose that fight. He's like, if you even doubt yourself a little bit, he said you're going to lose that fight. And I was like, that's a good way to look at it because that's so fucking true.
Well, if you step into that ring with all those doubts filling your head, I mean, it's just all that.
I think about anything you do, like a fucking trick on a skateboard or you're doing a jump on a fucking dirt bike. Like if you think like, oh fuck, you're that nervousness. Oh fuck, I'm gonna lose.
Yeah,
I'm gonna crash. And exactly. Then you're already fully not gonna go through with it. I don't know. It's just kind of I never looked at it that way. If you even have the slightest inclination that you're gonna. Because I always think, if you think you're going to lose a little bit, maybe that'll give you the motivation to even try even harder in the ring. But it's like, no, you need that. You need to go in there with 100% confidence.
Yeah, like, I'm a badass. I got this shit.
Yeah. Dude, that was such a fucking bad... Do you follow, anything? Have you ever watched Dominic Cruz fight or anything?
I mean, yeah, I've seen him fight. I just, at this point, like, after you called me last night and told me about Ronda Rousey, Brittany was, like, super surprised. Like, you're really not into fighting anymore. I still really like it. It's just, if I follow it, it takes up too much of my fucking time. And I don't like the half-assed, one foot in the door kind of, like, checking things out and then pretending like I know things. I literally, anymore, repeat things that I hear from Brendan Schaub or Joe Rogan.
See, that's how I am. I'm 1 foot in the door, but I don't pretend like I know anything. I just like George. He showed me a Dominic Cruz, like how he is with shit talking. He's good. Like I was telling George, like that's what's funny is like there's guys out there to be just as big as Conor McGregor, but I think Conor McGregor does do it way better than Britis, but his accent makes it that much funnier. Like if I were to go up there and say some of the shit that Conor McGregor said, it wouldn't have like the same oomph behind it. You know what I mean? Like it's the same punch to it. His accent does make things funny. I don't care what anybody says.
I think the Latin accent's harder to understand for a lot of people too, because there'd be a lot more stars in the UFC like Conor McGregor if like a lot of the Brazilians spoke better English.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they don't speak English or their English is very broken. Like they don't have the star opportunities that like Conor has.
There's a guy Kim Jong something he fought last night. I forgot his name, but he talks a lot of shit, but he doesn't know English, so he has a translator, and that's not funny. You know what I mean? So, I've seen so many translators on stage after the fights, and it's like, this is the worst interview ever. Yeah. But that guy
throw some subtitles, motherfuckers.
That guy Dominic Cruz, though, he's a fucking pretty good shit talker. George showed me some of his videos, and I got stuck, so I started fucking just, you go on YouTube, just start fucking tunneling through them.
A bit of a binge.
Yeah.
I hate when I do that, though, because then my YouTube feed gets like cluttered with fucking nothing but that because I watched like 15 videos of one thing one day.
See, I don't know much about fighting though. That's why I'm not a fan of UFC. I'm more of a fan of like the shit talking beefs. That's when I get wrapped up into them. Or like big names like Ronda Rousey. She's not really much of a shit talker, but it's like she's a big star, so it's like, I want to watch that fight.
I've heard Brendan Schaub and a couple other fighters talk about how what sucks too about fighting now is that you have like nobody wants to call anybody out, and I think it'd be a lot more fun if there was a lot more of that.
What do you mean calling people out?
Like, I want to fight you next. I want Ryan Mode.
Yeah.
I'm coming after you.
That's what Dominic Cruz. I was watching an interview with him. He was saying that he found it so disrespectful that that's how Cody Garbrandt. I think that's how you say his name.
Garbrandt or something like that.
Garbrandt. Yeah, that's how it is. Garbrandt. Got that fight anyways was because, as soon as he got done fighting, he started calling him out, and he was like, I thought it was respectful because you know where my locker room's at. It's like, yeah, but that's not where he's going to get. He's not going to get the fight. Like, people are going to want the fight because he's calling you out in public. Well, who's that boxer that was on Joe Rogan? The fucking Shannon, what's his name?
Briggs?
Shannon Briggs. That's how he would go and, like, bother people when they're eating, that one guy.
That's fucking, like, straight psycho. But, I mean, how else are you going to get your money?
That's what he said, too. He's like, I don't have any promoters.
Wait, was that Let's Go Champ, Shannon Briggs?
Yeah. Shannon Briggs. Let's go, champ.
That shit got so annoying. Like, I don't understand how people like watching his videos. Because Let's Go, I was like, can you please stop saying that? Like, it's the first time I've ever heard you talk.
I have a hard time of when people are that hyped up around me. When we're just having a conversation and you start getting hyped up like every 10 minutes.
It makes me feel uncomfortable.
Well,
like something's going on and but nothing really is going on.
Well, I almost feel like it's not real, like it's not sincere. Like when you all of a sudden, I know, you were talking like this, and all of a sudden you're like, you know how I do, champ. You know how I do. It's like, you feel awkward, when somebody
get uncomfortable because the energy comes from nowhere.
Oh man, yeah, I can't do it. Now, if we're all like partying and someone starts getting crazy, if someone's like laughing and starts acting like that, it's like, okay, I get it. We've been drinking, but out of nowhere, we're just sitting here talking. That's a little too much for me. But those videos, I've never seen these videos, but I remember seeing the YouTube videos of Shannon Briggs when he'd go into when he was like going, what's the guy's name? The Mexican guy who was trying to fight, but he wouldn't fight him. I don't remember the name. Why wouldn't someone fight him if you're being called like, just because there's no money in that fight, right? Because that guy's trying to make a name for himself, but you already have a name for yourself.
My best guesstimate with the top two reasons would be because the fight's dangerous or it's not paying you.
I don't. So let's say if you have a promoter, it's just they have so many different connections to get you in.
Well, the boxing world is much different than the MMA world because the boxing world has a bazillion different promotions, and the MMA world has 3 or 4 major promotions right now, and there's only really one major promotion because you have UFC and Bellator, which is in the eyes of everybody like 10 steps below UFC, which I mean seems to me like they're coming up. They're about to be right next to UFC in the near future. And then there's some smaller other organizations and organizations overseas and stuff. But there's really only one show in town, UFC. To where boxing, you just need to get two fighters together. And then the thing with boxing, too, is there's not really regulation like there is in UFC for drugs. Because it's just based on the commission's testing, and that's like pretty much the same piss test, or from what I understand, the same piss test you would take to get a job. Except maybe looking for a few more chemicals than your job would look for.
I think a fuck ton of more chemicals.
Well, no, not really. Like
Just
like
test boosters or what?
Well, no, like you hear the fighters talk about like the drug test, and it's like you have to be taking some like, for instance, like it's easier to pass one of the commission's drug tests than like in the Olympic drug test.
That's weird. Hey, I have another question, dude. What do you think about like Don King, for instance? Because I was going through Facebook the other day and I saw he was standing with Donald Trump or whatever. How do fighters still go with him after all they know he's shady, but it's just a chance, or just want to get fucked over just to get in the spotlight?
I don't know. I mean,
because you hear Don King, right? You instantly think shady, but he always has new fighters.
Well, my understanding of him is he was a piece of shit who took advantage of fighters back in the day. I would say
he rigged paperwork, right? Like he rigged paperwork where
I don't know.
I think that's what it was. He rigged paperwork, something like that.
Like I've never given enough of a shit about boxing.
Yeah.
Just weird. Before MMA came around, I always felt like boxing wasn't a real fight because I'd never seen a street fight.
So go standing the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen a couple, but it is strange when you sit there and spar like that, because like if you're not used to getting hit in the face after 3 or 4 of them, you're gonna like this more stay to the ground.
Well, then it's just not a real fight. Like that's not how a real fight happens. I like the way a lot of people talk about the rules in the UFC. Well, actually, before I go on a different direction, but with boxing, there's a gang of different promotions, and so there's not really just one show in town. So the UFC is trying to create a league, almost like the NFL or what's baseball, NBL,
MLB.
But anyways, to create a league, but they're trying to do it in a way to have UFC as the brand.
You say MBL?
MBL, Major Baseball League?
No, it's Major League Baseball. MLB? Yeah.
Oh, whatever.
I was like, MBL, what the fuck is...
Dude, I give zero fucks about baseball.
I was trying to go with that.
Like, as a kid, baseball was awesome. As an adult, baseball is fucking boring.
Did you used to be into it, collecting the cards and shit?
It's fun as a kid. It's really fun as a kid. But as an adult, I find it extremely boring.
I think it was fun as a kid because you'd get to buy the packs with the gum in it. So it was like
I always threw the gum away.
Really?
The gum was terrible. It was the worst gum
dude,
ever.
I'll eat cardboard as a fucking fat.
Dude, it was cardboard.
Yeah.
Like, it broke apart. Like,
was it the
normal
bazooka
gum
one?
Huh?
The bazooka one, right? Those little ones with the ridgets in it? The pink ones? Like
Well,
the shitty wrapper had like little comics on it almost?
Oh, those are pretty terrible, yeah. What about them?
No, isn't that the gum that was in there?
No. It was a strip of gum that'd be in the little pack, and it was like rock fucking hard. And it was like...
Oh, I remember that.
Because it was like the Wrigley strips.
Yeah.
But it's not supposed to be that hard. You bite into it and it was like turning to dust.
Yeah.
And then if you had enough saliva in your mouth, it might turn to gum.
It's just like chalk you're chewing on?
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you going for? I interrupt you? They're trying to create a league?
Yeah, the UFC's trying to create a league instead of having all these different promotions to where with UFC you have to sign a contract with the UFC.
Yeah.
To where boxers, they may or may not sign a contract, but typically not sign a contract, a long-term contract with a promotion. They'll sign like a one-time fight with a promotion. But in boxing, in order to get, like in the UFC, you're going to get fights eventually, because if you're on their roster. To where boxing, it's kind of hard to get a fight if your name's not out there and nobody's coming after you. Like you have to like go out. That's why Shannon Burns would have to go and like pester people in restaurants.
Yeah.
And from what I understand in boxing, it's like a common thing where boxers will avoid a dangerous fight.
Yeah, if they don't have to, why would you?
To where the UFC, you don't have choice who you fight.
I think that'll kind of destroy your career, though, in UFC if you don't do that, because
it's destroyed many careers.
Because if you don't take the fight, then everyone starts fucking, especially social media, everyone starts fucking ripping you a new one.
Oh, sorry, I said that. I thought you were saying something else. Yeah, definitely. I was thinking the opposite, destroying people's careers. Where
Dude,
people someone who's coming up, like, because you have someone that like wins like 4 fights out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden they'll throw him like a major fight, like the number 2 guy, and it's like, well, they weren't ready for it. They were still new. They were only like 4 fights deep, and because they hadn't lost, you threw them some big name, and they got their ass whooped, and then a lot of times you'll see guys not come back after that.
Yeah, because then you start thinking like, man, I'm in the wrong fucking industry.
It's like, you get all confident, you won some fights, then you catch that major fight, like a big name, and then it's like you realize what the top competition is.
Dude, so I was going through Facebook, and I don't know if you've been seeing like the Mayweather versus Conor McGregor.
I mean, I haven't read. I mean, I keep hearing rumors.
So
about
I was like, this is such a like. So I was like, I clicked on it, and then I started doing research on Facebook, on YouTube. And Mayweather's done an interview like, he's like, I'm down to fight him. He goes, but he wants to come to the line. He's like, he's not getting, because Conor McGregor, because he gets $100 million per fight, and Mayweather said, you'll get 7. And he's like, well, you're fucking crazy. And he's like, you're gonna get $100 million. He goes, you want to come to step to the line. But people have said too, like a lot of the people in the UFC industry, like a lot of spokespeople, they actually said that Conor would get whooped if he fought Mayweather in a straight up boxing ring. I feel like he would do a lot better than people think he would.
Conor?
Yeah.
No, he would do well. He's much bigger than Mayweather too.
By a lot, right? Because he doesn't Mayweather fight at like 140 or 145.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And I think that'd be hard for Conor to drop down to that weight.
Well,
again.
and Mayweather's not really cutting to that weight. Like he is at that weight. To where McGregor, he's walking around like 170, 180.
Yeah.
Dropping to 155.
Man, I would fucking dude. I'd be so dope if Nick Diaz came back and then he fought Conor McGregor.
The whole thing's bullshit with Nick Diaz.
No, but he's already off his suspension. He's been off.
I thought he had like a 5-year suspension.
No, he's been off for like the last 4 or 5 months now.
Then why hasn't he fought?
He said that I would listen to this one podcast with Nick Diaz on it, Ultimate MMA, and he was saying, he's like, yeah, man, he's like, I'm actually doing good right now. He's like, I'm making money off doing podcasts, because he's been doing a lot of podcasts. He sounds so good on the mic now, like really good. He'll sit there, like normally he's like, you've heard him in interviews. That's kind of how he's on the podcast. Dude, his last podcast I listened to with him, it was like an hour and a half long. He talks majority of the podcast and like good at keeping his sentence together, because the Diaz brothers like know like really chopped up sentences and just
they talk
like they're from
they
the
have their
streets.
own language.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, they don't even talk like they're from the streets though. They talk like it's so broken, because they like, especially Nick, like you watch a lot of his old interviews and he would say a paragraph but in half sentences.
Yeah, he'd stop it and then go to the next one.
Like, because he'd be like in the middle of a thought and you go, yeah, and then move on. You're like, wait, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's clear this back up. It's kind of like us though. We do that with each other. Like Jasmine says that she'll trip out when you and I are talking. She's like, because you guys, I can't get a gist of majority of what you guys are talking about. She's like, because you guys don't. She's like, you'll start talking and Jeremy already knows what you're talking about. He's like, oh yeah, that thing. And he's like, and you're like, wait, how do you already know what you're going to say?
Well, that's because we have a shorthand that nobody else can have between us. And if Nick Diaz is trying to talk in his shorthand to strangers.
Yeah, exactly.
I wonder how close him and his brother really are.
I watched this one interview. He was saying that he was really hurt by it because he was so used to having his brother in the corner with him. And he's like, not being able to have my brother in the corner with me. He's like, it's been shitty.
I thought that's because like Nick Diaz wasn't allowed to.
Yeah, he's not allowed to be in there.
Okay, yeah.
That's what he's saying. Like since his suspension, it's been.
Oh, okay. Like
shitty.
you made it sound like something happened between them.
No. He said it's just been shitty not being able to be in the ring with him.
I saw the interview after Nate's fight with Conor, the second one. Yeah, it was after the second one. Nick was talking about the fight, and he was saying like, it was trippy listening to him talk about the fight, about Nate, because he was like, and when this happened, he should have done this, but nobody told him to do this. Had he done this, or had he been there? I'd been there for him to.
That was on a podcast, right?
I think it was.
I listened to that podcast when he was talking about getting his bike stolen.
The Jimmy and.
Yeah.
Because it used to be a different show before the one dude left.
I listened to that podcast with him because he was saying that. And that's what happens.
Show.
He's saying that's what happens when you don't get out of Stockton. He was like, he needs to switch up his training also. He's like, he needs to get out of Stockton. He needs to realize that there's other stuff out there for him. I'm pretty sure I listened to the same exact podcast you're talking about.
I didn't listen to the whole thing. I listened to a portion of the interview. It's a fucking major show. What's the name of it? Because it was...
It's an MMA show, right?
No.
This one, is it?
No, the one I listened to was not an MMA show.
And what about it?
No, I'm just frustrated I can't remember the name. I don't.
But you're just saying that he was, just giving him key pointers or what? What he should have done?
Yeah, it was. He was just talking about how, like, what he would have told his brother.
Oh, gotcha.
While his brother was in there, and it was kind of cool listening to him. Like, oh yeah, you definitely know your brother.
It was funny too when he was talking about, or they're interviewing Nate Diaz, and he was like, I don't know if he was stoned on Nate Diaz to get that little giggle. And he was like, he was asking them like, oh, do you copy anything that Nick does? He goes, man, I was copying everything Nick does. Like, I got this guy, he's winning. It's like, hell yeah, I want to follow him. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He was like laughing. It was funny. But he's like, yeah, man, he's like busting people's skull with, hell yeah, I'm going to copy him. I was copying everything he was doing. Yeah, but I don't know. I think he's just kind of done. I don't know. Maybe just done with fighting. He's getting up there in weight too. He'd have to do some old weight cutting. Not
He
like
always fought at like 170 though, right?
185. Whatever that weight class is, 180 or 185.
I think it's middleweight. I could be wrong. 170 could be middleweight. I don't understand weight classes too well.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I don't know fighting. Like I said, I just watch all the big name ones, and I wouldn't even really care about the Dominic Cruz one if George didn't show me all his videos. He's such a good shit talker. I can't wait to see this. He was shit talking so bad to the guy Cody that he was trying to take off his mic and go fight him in the other room. Security was holding him back, and then they got into it at the weigh-ins. They started fighting at the weigh-ins because he keeps his composure. He talks shit. He doesn't let it get in his head. But dude, in the ring, man, he fucking kept his composure really well.
Hey, so collateral damage at like the weigh-ins, like the John Jones, Daniel Cormier incident, like where they got into a scuffle, and the Connor and Nate thing where like Nate threw a water bottle. They
both threw a water bottle. They each got fined.
Do you think the UFC should be responsible to pay those fines?
I don't know, because at the same time, like you want to be an example for upcoming kids that want to be fighters. You know what I mean? And like that kind of behavior. I feel like the same way with like a champion.
But how many more pay-per-views did that sell?
Oh, of course, but still, at the same time, like I think, let's say if Lanny wanted to get into a sport, I want his idol like on TV showing like a decent example. I don't know. I feel like being a champion, like I feel like all these women fighters that like look up to Ronda and then she's a poor sport, she just leaves the ring. Like I think that's fucking like, I don't know. I have a different outlook on that kind of stuff.
But just for those weren't even bad. I don't see those as that big of a deal. Those incidents.
I do.
Getting mad and throwing a water bottle at each other.
I don't think they should be fined, but I think there should be some, like, I don't know. No, I mean, I like that kind of stuff. I get excited when I watch it. But I'm saying at the same time, like, at what point does it stop escalating? You know what I mean? Like, someone's going to, if I can get away with this, next one I'm going to fucking throw a chair at him. You know what I mean? It's just going to keep getting worse and worse. And then someone's going to end up getting hurt, and then they're going to end up.
I think the UFC should be paying for that shit, not the fighter.
Like I said, when it's on fucking YouTube, I'm the first one to click on it. But at the same time, like, because I like all the drama. That's what makes me want to watch the fight. Like all the hype for it. Like,
are you listening to yourself right now?
Yeah, I know. I just totally contradicted what I just said. I know. But all right, fine. Maybe I just agree with you then. I'm just looking at it in the standpoint of like, I remember being like a kid and like wanting to just do everything that the that the stars did. In any, like, I don't know, dude. Just so I guess if I like, because you and I both want to put the boys in some sort of mixed martial arts. So for me, I don't know. All right, whatever I just said right now, let's just fucking take it back.
I would say in a lot of situations, like Conor McGregor, and hell, even Nate Diaz is a good role model, or in most situations on any given day. But because they shit got a little heated and it escalated to something mostly minor.
Yeah, I guess a water bottle, and I think it was pretty ridiculous. They each got fined $150,000. It was something absurd. Like,
has Conor paid it yet? Because he was talking mad shit before. Like, I'm not paying it, and I'll just never fight in Vegas again. Because he brings so much money to that town, so they lowered his fine. The last thing I heard, which was a while back, was that they had lowered his fine, and because they told him they required him to do like, it was like $150,000 originally, and like 60 hours of community service.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And so Conor McGregor's like, I'm just never going to fight in Vegas again. How about that? And then they're like, okay, well, how about no community service? He's like, yeah, not fighting in Vegas. Like, you know how much money is not going to come your way now?
Yeah, it doesn't even matter. Anywhere he goes. I mean, if he told Dana White he's not fighting in Vegas, they'll reschedule the fight somewhere else.
So typically, like, the state commissions, let's say Nevada State Commission suspends you for a year. Like, you can't fight in Nevada for a year because of whatever reason. all other commissions around the U.S., even Canada and whatnot, will agree with that. They'll all like not let you fight for about a year. But in cases like Conor McGregor, where you're bringing millions of dollars of revenue to a town with you, like no commission's turning that down. That's why he's telling Vegas, like, I'm not paying you. Fuck you guys. You guys have too much power, and you should not be fining people these ridiculous amounts of money for these minor incidents.
It's crazy. I think he's like realizing like how like, I mean, obviously he's known this, but I'm saying like to me what I gather, because like the whole Mayweather thing, how long he's been talking shit to Mayweather, now Mayweather's willing to fight him. Like I feel like that'd be like the ultimate legends. Not only did you just conquer the shit out of UFC, and then you went over to the boxing world, but I get it. He's not willing to do it for chump change, which I mean, $7 million is not. But compared to what he's getting,
show. You should be making freak show money.
Yeah, because that's what he said. That's basically what he was saying. He was like, I too want $100 million. He's like, we should each be getting $100 million in this fight. And Mayweather was like, you're challenging me. Like, why would I give you?
Has Mayweather ever made $100 million in a fight?
Oh yeah, dude.
I thought his fights were always like 50 or something like that. I thought 100 mil was like unheard of.
I think the Pacquiao one. I think he got like 60 or 70 or something like that. Yeah, maybe not 100. Yeah, I think you're right. Always around like between like 40 and 60, something like that.
I mean, granted, which is a retarded amount of money.
Yeah, I don't know the chance of brain damage though.
Well, yeah, I think it's a lot of that money is well worth it. Like the fact that UFC pays fighters, I mean, granted, new fighters, but a new fighter, you're getting put on even the undercard. That's national TV or cable TV. They're making like $8,000 a fight, $8,000 to show, $8,000 to win. So 16, you have potential of making 16 if you win.
That's fucking nothing.
And that's for like 3 or 4 months worth of work.
Well, I was listening to Brendan Schaub. He was saying that the average fighter is making like 60,000, 70,000 a year. I was like, dude, oh my god, getting your fucking head kicked in. That's so crazy.
Well, that's what they're grossing. You have to pay taxes on that. You got to pay your manager, your lawyer.
He was saying that's after training and all that. This was on the Burt Kreischer's podcast. He was saying that 60, 70 grand. These are like bigger fighters. I'm not talking like I'm not talking like bottom like starting out fighters. He was saying that after paying your coaches and everything, he's like in taxes, like you're walking away with 60, 70 grand. I was like, oh my god, it's nothing. It's so crazy, and that's like. He wasn't saying like a big fighter. He was saying like a pretty like a known fighter, like
it's someone with a good name in the top 10.
Yeah, I don't know about top 10, but you're like up there. Because I feel like even top 10 fighters are making a lot more than that.
Well, nowadays they are.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I don't know with that Reebok deal. Lost a lot of sponsorship money.
Hey, did you listen to that John Walker? Yeah, I know you did the John Jones podcast on Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I kind of like mixed feelings about it.
Dude, I think he was fake as fuck, dude. I love how he kept like he would say something like, and then he'd have to go back. Oh, but I mean, I hit a woman. Like I don't know. Like I feel like he didn't feel bad, but then he was realizing what he was saying. Like you can just tell. Like
I'm glad he chose Joe Rogan's platform as an interview. Like, I think that was a wise decision. I was just disappointed that Joe Rogan wasn't asking harder questions. Like, Joe Rogan asked some questions that were a little personal, but I think he should ask harder questions. And I think Joe...
Like what kind of questions?
Just more like, why, what happened here? What's the real story here? What's the real story behind this? Just like, especially around the incident with the car and whatnot, like...
Hitting the pregnant woman? How much did she get from him? Should have been millions, right?
Well, I mean, she settled, and it was never he never came out with the information. So
that had been a crazy amount of money.
Oh yeah.
What do you think he's worth?
Millions of dollars.
Yeah, I know that, but like, I mean, obviously not anywhere near McGregor's level. But I'm saying, like, you think he's got over 10 mil?
Oh yeah. He was making so much money in sponsorship. It was retarded.
But how about now? Since he was still sponsored. He's still by Nike and all that, right? He's not anymore.
I mean, I think he got dropped when he.
Yeah, so he said he got dropped by Nike and all that. Do you think he saw that there was a woman in there?
No.
Just boned it.
Hell no.
Up.
How many times have you ran from a situation that you really remember what happened?
Well, I've never ran from. getting in a car accident.
Well, think back to a kid every time you ran from a cop.
Yeah.
How much time did you take to look around?
Yeah, no.
I mean, the fact that the way people analyze a situation after it happened really sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't do anything right, 100%. It was all wrong. But then the way the story was told and the way everything looks after the fact makes him look so much worse than what really happened. I believe him that he didn't go back for a stack of cash. I mean, he was driving, like a $200,000 car. Like, if he had $50,000 in that car, I don't think he gives a shit. I really don't. I don't think he was going back for, $1,000. I think the rumor was like $8,000 cash is what he went back and grabbed. I don't think that.
What do you say? He just went back to grab some weed, right? Because
his pipe was sitting in the center console or in the cup holder or whatever. And he's like, I didn't.
Where did he get caught at home?
In New Mexico.
Even know the story.
It was in New Mexico.
No. But I'm saying like.
Oh, where did he get caught? He turned himself in.
Oh, okay.
He surrendered himself with his lawyer.
Yeah, when you have that big of a face, like you're not. It's so, when someone famous tries to run from the scene.
I mean, I believe him about that. I mean, I just think it kind of felt like he's lying to himself. Like, it's almost like he has a bunch of people around him telling him that you have to be this way.
It's like you would say they're personal cheerleaders?
Well, not even that. It's like he has people around him telling him, like, you're a role model, you need to act a certain way, you need to do this. I think he needs to be more like Conor McGregor and just be yourself and do what the fuck you want to do.
Yeah, because everyone loves that guy. You know, everyone loves, like, the outlaw kind of guy.
Yeah, like Brendan Schaub made a really good point, like, I don't know, like a year ago or something on one of his podcasts I was listening to, where he was talking about how John Jones should just be the bad guy.
Yeah.
Just be the bad guy. You know, in a way...
Well, Chael Sonnen said something like that, too, when he was... Like, keep going, sorry.
Yeah, but you just be the bad guy and just be who you are, and everybody's going to love you. If you just own it, you know, you're going to... Of course, there's going to be a bunch of people that hate you, but, I mean, it's perfect for your persona and getting fights and whatnot. I mean, in a way, it should be... I mean, when the UFC started, they literally used the WWF's, like, blueprint. They took their blueprint from the WWF. That's why you have the walk-in, the music, the ring in the center. I mean, it's all... They used like the WWF as a platform, except I think the fighters should take some more notes from WWF. Because if you create a personality like Conor McGregor has, you become way more famous and you're more interesting. And I think the UFC needs to do a little bit better of a story or a little bit better of a job telling the fighter's story. Because the UFC doesn't do anything about really telling a fighter's story.
Well, yeah, like especially like Amanda Nunes. I watched this little like hour clip on her, like from start to beginning. Dude, she's a fucking badass.
What would you watch it on though?
YouTube.
But what do you think it was? It was definitely was it anything UFC?
No.
See, that's the problem.
Yeah. No. I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying I watched the documentary on Amanda Nunes. And it was pretty badass. Even Conor McGregor's story, I watched it's like an hour and 20 minutes on him. Pretty fucking good. I don't like the part where they talk about how he was on like welfare and shit. Like he openly I don't know. Well, anyone that's like he's like
in Ireland though. I mean, you don't even know what that means.
Yeah, it's true.
It's not because it's a completely different system than the U.S. Because like being on welfare in a socialist country is different than. Which I don't know what government Ireland has.
Yeah, when he's saying like he's on welfare though, and like he just decided to box full time. Like to me, it's like like you're a piece of shit. Like that's instantly how I think about like welfare people. You know what I mean? Like when I think that like you're taking a couple years to just focus on fighting, you're getting paid. I don't know.
Yeah, but if you listen to the story of a lot of the people you love, you're gonna hear shit like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're right. There's no other way to fucking work a full time job and be the fighter that he is.
Yeah.
That's just the way that's the way it is.
What's crazy about Conor McGregor is he was gonna quit fighting.
Yeah, his coach brought him back. That's badass though. He kept his coach from Ireland. That's so sick.
It's crazy. I mean, it's insane to think that like he does everything in Ireland. Like he has it's a small community and everything is there.
Dude, the gym is shitty. The gym he trains at, like it's nothing special. It's tiny too.
But I mean, I don't think he's stupid. I think he's traveling and training with like spending small time with other camps.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I watched this hour-long compilation video of Conor McGregor shit-talking, and it's like when he gets in someone's head, he'll film himself watching their interview of how they reacted to him shit-talking to them, and he's dying laughing. So it's like, they see that video, it makes him even more mad. His way of getting in people's heads is like no one else. It's so fucking funny.
It's weird when like you see someone like that, and like Chael Sonnen seemed to be like the first big one.
I don't even think he was that good though.
Well, he destroyed. Like Conor McGregor destroys Chael. It's like, and Chael said some really funny shit because he was almost just a fucking liar. He just lost the one interview I loved is that where he just lost a fight, and he's calling somebody else talking about how he's undefeated. You just lost.
Do you think he made money? Because I don't remember even seeing him fight.
Chael Sonnen?
Yeah.
He made a ton of money.
Really?
Yeah.
Were his fights, something where everyone's like, I'm watching this fight because he talks so much shit?
Oh, yeah.
How long ago did he retire?
Well, he's fighting in
But not
Bellator.
the UFC though, right? Yeah.
No, he had the opportunity to fight in UFC, but Bellator,
Pays more.
yeah, they can offer a lot more than what the UFC offers, especially with that Reebok deal. Because you can go in there and get what the Bellator is going to pay you, which is more than the UFC, from under what people have been talking about. And then they also allow sponsorships. So he'll get a fuck ton of money from sponsorships.
Remember I was telling you about Steve was going to fight on the 7th, January
Yeah.
7th? I guess he got offered a fight in Canada with a lot more money, so he took that one. I was like, oh man, I was looking forward to going out there. He's like, I'll let you know when the next one is in town.
Just tell him to let you know when the next one, like within a couple hour driving distance is.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely have to go. I wouldn't even mind just going to even one that we don't even know. I would just like to
Go see some fights?
Yeah, just because I don't know when you listen to people talk about like, dude, it's so crazy when you're there. It's because you almost when you're at home, you're in the comfort of your own house. You almost like because that feeling you get when you watch a fight, how you kind of almost want to stop. I know it's not like that when you're watching a live UFC fight, but when you watch a street fight and it gets so bad.
I don't know. Anytime I watch people fight, it kind of get when it's getting bad. Like I always wanted to stop, and I think TV allows the illusion of
it's almost not being real. Yeah, exactly. That's
especially because 90% of you watch through, or 90% of what you watch through the TV is fake.
Yeah.
So
it's already like embedded in your head, like, oh, this probably isn't real.
And then when you see it happening right in front of you,
yeah,
that when you could really, when you're sitting, well, if you can have the luxury of sitting close enough to the stage or the ring, you can actually hear the punches landing and kicks landing, and then I don't know if I ever want to go. That, and I definitely don't want to go with the prices. Have you seen what within like 50 feet of the ring prices are?
A couple grand?
No, not that much. Like $800 to $1,200 depending on the fight and the venue, and even higher.
Fuck, last night's fight, dude, I would have definitely paid to go see that.
It's weird because like people always say like, oh, you don't want a quick fight or whatever, you wasted all that money. But it's like, well, what do you really want? You want to see someone lose?
You know what I think the best fight that I've ever seen, though, was probably that second one with the second Nate Diaz fight with Conor McGregor, because that was like a full-on like war. I didn't see it when the fight was going on. I watched it with George. He was just showing me the full fight, and that was that was probably the longest and best fight that I've seen. I wish, dude, that I don't know how our parents should have paid for it, but I wish I can go back, dude, and I don't know, play around with MMA. Not in the mindset of like even getting big or anything like that. Just to do it.
Well, I wanted to do karate as a kid.
Because I'm telling you, dude, even just the 2 months of just watching fucking George, dude, is kind of tripping me out, dude. Like, oh, you never know who knows it out there. And I always have a pretty good, not that I'm cocky or I think highly of myself, even in fighting, because I don't know how to fight. Or, I just throw punches. But, you always kind of still have that, whatever. You know what I mean? I'll take my chances. But then after, fucking around with little George, you kind of get the idea, okay, this is only a couple months. Imagine, fucking 4 years or 6 years or fucking 10 years. You know what I mean? That's a fucking lethal weapon. You know what I mean? You might as well give me a bat and a knife, and I'm still, odds are still against me.
It's funny, too, when you listen to fighters talk about jiu-jitsu, or it's like they're a black belt, and then black belt in jiu-jitsu, and when they talk about other black belts, they talk about it like they don't even know what they're doing. Because this other guy's just so much more advanced. Still, it's like, well, there needs to be more colors of belts then. Yeah. There should be a higher level than black.
Well, what trips me out too is the dodging ability. I want to show the highlights of this Dominic Cruz fight last night, dude. Just the bobbing and weaving, dude, is so amazing to me. And how fast they're throwing his punches and just how many they're dodging. It's insane. If you're throwing a punch at me, 9 out of 10 you're probably gonna hit me.
Yeah. No, when I'm high, I find fighting way more interesting because I'm watching more what their mechanics of what they're doing.
Yeah.
When I was watching a lot of fighting, I started liking watching the smaller guys fight, like the 125 and 135 guys, just because they're so much faster.
Yeah.
There's so much more striking involved.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand how they move that way. They're little springs on every part of their body, and everything just moves so quickly. And I don't even understand how you see something moving that fast coming. But, was it, forget the way Joe Rogan describes MMA. It's it's like, whatever, I'm not going to try to repeat his phrase, but it's a very poetic way of describing MMA. And something about problem solving at its highest level.
I hate when he's high and he's like feels passionate and he starts like, it's like that's annoying because he sounds like a hippie almost. I like the words he uses, but I hate, when someone's high and they're like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, man. Like, I don't know, just like, oh, dude, I'm already annoyed.
That's because we're so used to it being followed by bullshit.
Yeah.
And so even if someone has something good to say,
yeah, it's still, yeah, exactly.
That's why, like, a lot of times when I get too high, like I'll like have that same stupid stoner voice, and it's like, all right, I don't want to talk anymore because now everything just feels like bullshit coming out of my mouth.
I wish I wouldn't have listened to this last podcast with him because they mentioned that new documentary that came out, Rats. So I decided to watch it, and Jesus was telling me about it.
What is it?
The new documentary Rats by Morgan Spurlock.
About actual rats? Or about actual rats?
Yeah, it's a documentary called Rats, and someone else was on it, and they mentioned it, and then the last one was too with Red Band. They mentioned it also.
I haven't listened to like the last 8 episodes of Joe Rogan.
Okay, you'll hear a lot of these them talking about this documentary Rats. So I was like, no. First Jesus mentioned to me, and then I listened to Joe Rogan. So all right, well, I gotta check it out. I've had the flu last 2 days, so I decided to watch it, and I had to turn it off. I can only do 30 minutes at a time because I started getting sick to my stomach. But it's just basically there's like teams out there that are trying to figure out rats. Like in New York City, they have such a crazy rat problem that they say that there's for every person in New York City there's a rat.
I thought it was more than that.
Well, that's what this is basically what they're saying that like they can guarantee, because every 2 weeks. A female rat's having another litter of babies every 2 weeks. So it's insane. Like every 2 weeks, you can have up to 10 babies. So, and there's this rat guy. He's been doing pest control like 40 years, and he's like one of the main guys that's like talking on it. No, I don't care. And he's like, rats they're constantly progressing. They're constantly learning how to avoid. He's like, if you lay down a rat trap, they're going to see their friends get killed at a rat trap. You're not going to kill them with that because they're going to urinate on that rat trap and they're going to know not to go over there. So it's the same way with poison. So if they see one of their buddies eat poison, they'll go over and piss on the rest of the poison. You're not going to kill the rest of the rats with that poison. He was saying, so like if you have 30 rats up there, he goes, well, guess what? Someone's coming to Mikey's funeral. Like basically saying there's going to be a rat up there still left because he's going to know. So there's this like lab, and it's shown like the evolution of rats on like how they work, because rats have only been around for like 250 years. I forget which country they started on, but they came in boats across. That's how they started spreading, because they can tread water for like fucking over 3 hours. It's insane. It's like it's fucking ridiculous.
Dude, rats are cool as shit.
Yeah, after watching this, and then fucking in what is it? It's not in India. Where is it? Anyways, the last part of the video, they show this fucking country that. What is it? What fucking religion is it that believes in reincarnation? Fuck.
Is that the Buddhists? Here. I'm pretty sure it's Buddhist. I don't know enough about religion.
Anyway, so they have a temple that is fucking. There's over 35,000 rats. I want to know who. Yeah, but who? All right, well, anyways, so fucking this temple, right? They go
to Buddhism, Hinduism.
That's what it is.
Jainism and Sikhism.
Hinduism. So they go to this fucking temple, right? And there's 35,000 rats in it, and they're constantly breeding. So it's just the numbers getting. That's what they estimate is there. So it's probably a fuck ton more. There's rats everywhere. The rats are so used to the people coming and feeding them. They're drinking out of the same fucking milk as them. There'll be a bowl of milk. The rats are like swimming in it, and they're just grabbing handfuls of milk. And they're like, and they're saying that, this is my family. This is going to become me when I die. And then, after we're rats, we become human again. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, how do you buy into this shit?
Because you're taught that since, you were a baby.
It's just like, God, dude, it's so mind blowing to me. And dude, you got to watch this documentary. It's a little. You probably won't freak you out as much as me. I'm a little bitch when it comes to that kind of stuff. But I just, I don't know, dude. Like right now, I'm all scratching. Like it gives me the fucking chills, dude. I hate it.
That stuff bothers me when I'm there to physically see it.
Yeah.
But watching it on documentary, it's like it's not here with me.
I'm all fucking. I don't like that, and I hate fucking rats. Like,
well, then I like rats. So.
Yeah, when you had. And then, fuck, dude, you know, me and you, we used to work for our uncle in L.A. He's part owner in a business, in a historical landmark. It's called Angel's Flight. It's basically 2 trains, and they fucking come within inches from each other.
It's cable cars that go up and down a really steep hill in downtown L.A., and it's an old school system that everything's still original. Well,
you and I used to have to go pick up trash, and do you remember fucking the size of those rats that we'd see jumping through the grass?
Yeah.
Like, I was trying to tell Jesus about it. I was like, dude, they're fucking like rabbits. That's how big they are. Like, they're huge.
Well, the stories and pictures I've seen of rats in New York are way crazier.
So it's funny, right? So they had this team going by, right? And there's one of the biggest problems in New York is everyone throws their trash. You know, they put the trash in the curb at the end of the night. So it's just a fucking, you know, the rats coming from the sewer and have a field day. And this black guy is walking by and he's like, yeah, they try to say we don't have a problem in New York City. You fucking kidding me? He starts kicking the bags of rat suit and like, dude, like, I want to say probably 30, 40 rats are coming out of this bag. He's like, yeah, look at this shit. And like the girls that are like walking with them, like, oh my God, like freaking out. Oh, no, you gotta check it out though. It's pretty good. Why haven't you been listening to Joe Rogan? It's been
I haven't been working, or I haven't been at work. So
yeah.
Since I haven't been at work, I've been watching
a gang of shit to catch up on, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of nice when I have a bunch of podcasts piled up like that because it's like, oh, I got plenty of shit to listen to. Because there's a lot of times during the week where I'm searching for something to listen to.
Yeah, the only time I listen now is on the way to work, and sometimes if I'm too tired, I can't listen to anything. I just because everything's putting me to sleep.
I can't listen to podcasts if I'm too tired. It just doesn't work. My brain doesn't. You can't listen.
Yeah.
So music is usually what I switch to.
That's how I usually am. If I'm not paying attention enough, I'll shut it off. That's why like one podcast will take me probably 4 days, 3-4 days to listen to, because if I'm heading down and I start daydreaming, I constantly keep rewinding it. Like I rewind a podcast, dude, probably like 30 times.
I should rewind more. Unless it's something that I'm like, oh wait, what was that? Like I'm like, fuck it, I don't care.
Yeah. No, if I'm going to listen to the podcast, I want to know exactly what they're saying. I have a hard time retaining the information, though. Like that fucking documentary I just watched, and it was only an hour long.
Dude, I remember, I mean, it's probably self-explanatory, but it seems like if I have more of an emotional connection to whatever I'm listening to, watching, whatever, I definitely remember it better.
Yeah, same here.
And when I'm just getting some information that's like somewhat interesting, like it just in and out.
Yeah, if something's like destroying someone's life, I retain that really well. Like if you're telling like a crazy story, like a lot of Joey Diaz like stories, I can retain those really well because it's usually like a fucking crazy story.
I remember a lot of my crime podcast shows I watch a lot easier, and so yeah, I see that.
Yeah. I think any kind of like drama I can remember pretty good, or comedy. But anything in between, if it's just like a fact or something that someone's talking about, they saw on the news or something, I mean, it's like snoring.
So I've been binge watching Shameless. Well, not really binge watching, I've just been watching it whenever I can, which last couple of days I've been binge watching Shameless with Brittany because she's like 2 seasons behind us. I just watched episode 10 of season 7. 2 more episodes. Is there season 8 yet?
No, they just finished filming season 7 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. That was the last episode.
You mean finished airing?
Yeah, finished airing, yeah. 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, yeah.
Okay.
So we got a whole other year. But that show, if you guys haven't seen it, fucking tune into Shameless. Holy shit, that show's amazing.
I did a spoiler alert with Brittany on accident. Or I spoiled a portion with her.
Which character? So just so I know it's already.
Well, no, it was all characters she already knew. I walked in the house, saw she was watching Shameless, went outside in the garage, fucking smoked weed, came back inside.
Oh, have you seen this yet?
I sat down with her, and it was like, and she had paused it, and we were talking. I was like, man, you know what? I was like, what I really love about Shameless right now is V and Kev's throuple with Lana, and she's like, what? I was like, huh?
I'm sorry, I got to text Microfast. Bring your box, please. Your music box, I'd probably say.
Bring your shit box.
I need to hook up that surround sound, dude. I just keep
procrastinating.
Not that. I only have one arm, and I keep fucking like straining it, trying to do too much. So I just.
What about before?
Before, yeah. I guess. No, it's not that. It's just because I have an idea of what I want to do in here. I just don't have the money.
You keep talking about a window over there, right?
No, not a window. I want cabinets right here because I want to put a TV in the middle. Like, I already have it. All the cabinets I even want to buy, cabinets are so expensive, dude. Garage cabinets are so much money. Like, with the shit that I want to buy, just cabinets, I'd be looking at $2,000. I try looking on OfferUp, and people only sell like a single cabinet. You know what I mean? You can't really buy a set of cabinets like that.
Every now and then you'll see like, you know, a remodel pop up where someone's getting rid of some decent stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't hardly ever even see that.
But I mainly just want like, you know, like a little tool bench and then like some tall cabinets, and I want to put the TV in the middle, and then I could start situating the garage the way I want it, and then that's why I want to put like a couch right here and like just a little hangout area. It's funny, dude, because it's like everything else that I say I want to do, I always do it, but when it comes to my garage, the thing that I love the most, I don't ever do it.
Because you're the end result, so you're like, I don't care if I really do it or not.
No, I do really care. It's just, I feel like selfish if I take the money that like we've been saving to spend it on a garage, you know what I mean? Like, it's like something that I need to do like here and there, like throw money at it here and there, but I just don't do it. And then now we got this little reception venue to pay for.
That's your fault, dude. You decided to go to Vegas.
I know. She's so happy now, though.
Wait, how is it? I'm still confused on how it was your idea to get married.
I know. All right, so we're heading up there, and
like, hold on. First of all,
oh yeah, you guys, I'm married now.
I feel almost like a little bit let down because I thought you were gonna just never get married. Like, I was curious to see how long this would go.
I was gonna let it go on for a while, but to tell you the truth, I guess not only have I just always been against marriage just because of like just the nonsense that it stands for. If you like somebody, you shouldn't need that. You know what I mean? That's just the way I look at it.
It shouldn't be a requirement of the relationship.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not saying this is why I did it, but I will say this was a wake up call also, like me getting hurt, and then I don't know, like this is what did it. So Jazz was like, you know what? Like, I'm cool with not getting married. She's like, all I want is your last name. I was like, all right, go get my last name then. So in order for her to get my last name, she has to petition for it, and that requires like a couple like going back to the courthouse.
Yeah, it's not that easy.
Yeah, exactly. So that made me feel like shitty. It's like all she wants is the same last name as, you know, her kids and myself. So it's like that made me feel kind of shitty. And she wasn't, dude, Jasmine never pressures me. Like, she was like, the only thing that sucks, all I want is your last name. That's it. If I can just have your last name, then I would be content. So anyway, she wasn't pressuring me. So we're in the kitchen when we were thinking about going to Vegas. This was on Sunday. And I was like, let's get married. She's like, haha. It was just said. It was kind of a joke. So then Tuesday came, and then I was joking with Jocelyn Wetherill, but I was like, we getting married? She's like, yeah, right. She's telling like Dale, like, you're never going to marry me, yada, yada. So then like, that was almost like, oh, challenge, you know, no, I'm just kidding. No, so I was, yeah, so I kind of already kind of had it in my head, like, oh, if she's down for it, like, we're going to get married then. But then, I'm not going to lie, I did start thinking about my taxes, because my tax guy was going to be like, you know, it's in your best interest not to get married financially, because you're going to end up paying out if you guys get married. Yeah, and I was like, that sounds sucks on taxes. And I was like, that sounds horrible. You know, like, why the fuck? Like, we're getting some cash back now. Why would we want to do that? So then I bitched out Tuesday night over taxes. I fucked with a cheapskate, dude, because like Andrew and Dee were there, and then like I'm basically telling them I don't want to marry her because of tax.
Hey, did you guys file the paperwork?
Not yet.
Can you just like not file the paperwork?
Yeah, you know it's
keep claiming single.
No, you can't file the paperwork up until 10 days. And on Sunday I was like, this sucks too. We got married right for fucking end of the year.
Isn't there a grace period though? Like, it has to be before this date.
I fucking hope so. That'd be dope.
Because it seems kind of
shitty that a couple days before the end of the year.
Like 2 weeks before the end of the year, like, oh, no, you have to claim married all year long now.
Yeah, no. I
think there's a cutoff date.
I hope so. But yeah, so then anyways, I bitched out, whatever, and then we were gambling. And then, dude, this sounds fucking really weird. I know, I know it wasn't mom. Like, I know it wasn't that. But it was really weird, though. Like, I got this fucking crazy feeling, dude. Me and Josh were both gambling. And, of course, you know me, I'm losing. And I had $100 in the machine. And I'm, like, losing, right? And I only wanted to do 20. And, like, I didn't even want to gamble. Like, it was at the end of the night, like, me and Josh were both drunk. And I looked at her. I was like, this is fucking weird. Like, do you feel like my mom's right here? She's like, oh, my God, yes. And, dude, like, I didn't even cash out, dude, because it was, like, the weirdest, like, feeling that, like, I just wanted to kind of hang on to for a little bit. Like, I felt like mom was there, so I just kept losing the money. I just kept hitting max bet. Like, I didn't even care. I played till I lost everything. And then, I woke up that next morning and I was kind of like, yeah, like we're going to do it. So I called Trisha. I didn't even tell Jasmine. I was like, hey, you want to come to a wedding? And then she was like, are we really getting married? I was like, yeah, just like she heard me talking to Trisha, and then I don't know, we just went. I don't know why I brought up the mom thing. That had nothing to do with me getting married. I remember I wanted to tell you about that, and then now I'm telling you about it.
It's the last thing we did with Mom.
You know, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I know it wasn't like she was there. I know just Vegas. Well, any being around slot machines just reminds us of Mom, obviously. But it was a fucking like overwhelming feeling. It was weird. And I think also probably just because I just most likely just missed her, or because sure.
Hey, what if her ghost resided in Vegas?
just chilling, just slotting it up. Oh man. Yeah, it was a weird. It was a weird feeling though, dude. It was really weird. I can't describe it. It wasn't like when we go to the casino, like, oh man, Mom loved this machine. It was fucking really weird.
What if it were true and we all avoided Vegas because Mom's ghost was always there?
Maybe.
It was like we used to avoid her phone calls and shit.
Can't go to Vegas. We don't talk to Mom right now. It was fun though, dude. It was a really fun trip, and always a good time with Mike and Dale. So that was fun. That was super cool that Trisha and Brett made up last fucking minute like that.
Hey, do you think if I had said, yeah, I want to roll with you guys to Vegas, do you think the wedding would have happened? Not like, okay, I'm going to come up for the wedding. No, like when you would originally ask me. Hey,
no, because all you would have had to ask me is, damn, do you sure you want to do this? I'm like, you're fucking right. No, I don't want to do it. That's all you would have had to say to me. You're such a mind fuck to me. That's all you would have had to tell me. Or all you would have had to say is like, damn, dude, I really thought you were going to ride this out and never get married. I'm like, you're fucking right. I should ride this out and never get married.
That's exactly what I said. I would have said.
Yeah, I was really planning on doing the whole, like, I waited 7 years to propose to her. I'm going to wait 7 years to marry her.
Dude, I feel like I would have been like, what's his name on Old School in the very beginning? Where he's sitting there like, she's not here yet. You can still get out of this. Vince Vaughn. Yeah. Vince Vaughn's talking shit.
All the way until he hands his daughter out. That's the best part.
You want to be like me? Look at it. To the kids, the wife, always staring.
He's like, look at it right now. Look at it right now. Staring at me right now. I live on Tomcats, though, who, like, they make a bet not to get married. I'm never getting married. I do. The next thing.
I don't ever want to get married. I don't. I do. First one. I actually felt like that was me for a while.
It was cool in the sense of I didn't do, like, because there was no way in hell I'm going to do, like, a big wedding. Not even if I had the money, I just wouldn't do it. Like, I'm not paying that kind of money. And so, like, this Vegas wedding was fun to me. You know what I mean? Like, it was fun. Like, everyone was laughing. Like, nothing was like, okay, be on cue. You know what I mean? Like, that's not me. You know what I mean? Like, last minute, like, random, like, that's Jazz and I. Like, everything we always do is, like, super random. We never plan anything out. Like, it's always kind of, like, last minute with Jazz and I. So, like, that's the kind of stuff that I like. Like, it really wasn't planned. That's what I like about it. It was a fun story.
I agree with you. What do you think her parents are upset?
Nah, dude. All of them were, like, happy. Like, it's about time. And then, like, Trisha was FaceTiming Sandy. But Sandy said that they gave us that timeshare in hopes that we were going to get married. She's like, dude, ask David. She's like, we were all saying that, like, let's hope they get married. Like, they were hoping that we got married.
It's creepy.
Yeah. And then she was like, see, my plan worked. I was like, like,
you got set up.
Yeah.
Did Jasmine know about this plan?
No.
I feel like you got set up.
No, she doesn't.
I feel like it was a setup.
Shut up, fool.
Dude, they hustled you into getting married.
She didn't know.
Dude, it's the ultimate hustle. She's home. Let's go ask her.
She would have told me, dude. Jasmine would have told me by now. Jasmine
loves I feel like she's playing the long game.
Jasmine loves doing that kind of shit to me. Like, okay,
you haven't filed the paperwork yet.
Now that it's done. Well, I kept telling her, I was like, you got to watch your P's and Q's. Look at this wedding annulled real quick. I think it's actually really hard to get a wedding annulled. Like,
it's not that easy.
You have to actually, like, show, like, reasoning on, like, why, like, what happened. You can't just be like, oh, I forget where I'm going with this.
I mean, the court's not going to, like, deny it, really. I mean, I don't see why they would bother.
Yeah, but you have to actually come in, though, with, like, a legitimate story on why you're getting this wedding annulled.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's not something like, oh, yeah, we just don't want to do this anymore. Are you that cold?
It might be weed shivers. I don't know.
That's the worst. You want a big jacket? I can give you this one.
No. Because I don't feel like my hands feel a little cold and my face feels a little cold.
Okay, so you're
but
just
my
shivering
upper
like a little
body
kid.
doesn't feel cold, but yeah, I'm still. I do want to do. I want to drink some coffee.
Pause real quick, because actually, I really need to eat something fast.
No more hiccups.
Caught a case of the hiccups. Had to do a brief pause break.
Brief pause break. It feels like it's been 2 hours
I think it has been
on this wonderful New Year's Eve.
a good hour. I can't think of the last time it rained on a New Year. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's always been nice and dry.
Yeah, cold as fuck, but dry.
Well, cold for us, which is balmy for other places.
We're sitting in my garage looking at Jeremy's truck full of wood, but looks like it's not going to get burnt because it's fucking raining up here in Temecula, so that's not going to happen.
It's really depressing.
Isn't it funny, dude, once you have kids, how your fucking New Year's go to, like, where the hell are we raging at, to, like, whose house are we having a nice, quiet New Year's at? Well, it's never quiet over here. I mean, we're still going to party, but it's not like it used to be.
I feel like it would be a little bit worse if I still drank.
Probably.
Because now I remain calm most of the night, and majority of the time I commented on how quiet I'm being or why I'm not hyped up. I feel like I help other people calm down.
I don't know. Brett does a pretty good job of hyping everybody back up, so.
Dude, Brett is ridiculous. He's like an unstoppable force that just comes in like a wrecking ball.
He is a wrecking ball. That's why we love him. You like that, how he texted you to sex dream about your girlfriend?
I was laughing so hard. Well, especially the way you prepped it. Where's that message at? Let's put this shit out. Nope, not that one. That one? Nope. That's our pajama party. Oh, tonight's a pajama party, guys. It's going to be awesome.
Do you have pajamas? I only have sweats.
I brought some just because I didn't want to hear
the shit
anybody
talking?
say anything.
Yeah.
And I figured, I might want to actually get into some fleece pants later, so.
You have a shirt that matches it?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, I wish I had like a full-on pajama set.
You want to look like a picture?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, dude. All right, so this is a text message we received from Brett. I hope what I'm about to tell you guys doesn't change any of our relationships. I've thought hard why this happened, and I guess it's just time to move on. This will be a rough one just because of our history alone. But no, I love all you guys and always will. ... Which is, I don't know, but you thought of it just like I did. I was like, okay, what's the fucking joke? Is he going to come out? I really was hoping he was going to come out and just let us all know that he was gay, and he's still communicated with the guy from the bar in Vegas, and
I thought he
visited a few times, and
I thought he was going to say that he's leaving Trisha.
Well, that won't happen.
No, I thought he was just a fuck around, like it was going to be a joke about.
I really had this whole story in my head of him being gay.
I was so hoping it was going to be true.
But then he said, but I just want to tell you guys, I had a sex dream about Brittany. And then jokes ensued from there.
Wow.
So it was pretty
you
funny.
should never fucking tell a story ever again.
Oh, let me do it again. Hold on. I can edit this. I hope what I'm about to tell you guys doesn't change any of our relationships. I've thought hard why this happened, and I guess it's just time to move on. This will be a rough one, just because of our history alone. But no, I love all you guys and always will. And then Ryan said, I feel a joke coming along. I thought the same thing, but I didn't say anything.
This is so great. It's like you're reading a book.
Then Brett said, I just wanted to tell you guys, I had a sex dream about Brittany. Then there's a whole bunch of jokes, because we have this running gag going about how Brett has sex dreams about Jasmine. Because he does. It happens all the time. Or those are fantasies that he puts into dreams, and that's his way of talking to everybody. But I don't know.
Hey, do you believe in that, like lucid dreams?
Lucid dreams?
Like no, I'm saying but people that study it and can actually go to sleep and dream something that they're thinking about.
I believe in lucid dreaming in a way, but I really hope it's true, and I want to know how to do it. I've tried getting into it, but a lot of what I've read says you need to have
sleep,
a good sleep pattern. You need to have good nights of sleep consecutively for long periods of time. So you can't.
I'm out.
I get 3 or 4 good nights of sleep a week, and they're not usually consecutively. Also if you have a stressful life or long days or whatever, that also affects everything. You have to have a perfect casual schedule.
I was listening to Bert Kreischer here saying he can do that.
Not how you think. Like, I listened to a guy say that when he had it controlled, like he could get into lucid, like he was deep into being able to control it.
See, I wouldn't even want to get to that point because I wouldn't even want to be alive anymore because I would just be thinking, like, I can't wait till I can go back to my millionaire life.
And then he was talking about how everything like happens slower. Like what Inception, the movie, like how everything when you're in a dream state, time moves slower. Because he wrote a book, and not that I read it or anything. I don't know. I don't know if any of his credentials are backed up by anything, or even what he said is remotely true, but it sounded cool as fuck. But he would, in the middle of writing his book, like he would practice writing in his dream, like in dreaming, because he can get so much more done. And so he wrote like pretty much his whole book in his dreams, and then his waking hours is he typing it out.
That's pretty fucking badass if that's true.
And he was just like, I was able to get so much more work done because of lucid dreaming. I was able to get all this work done in my dreams, and it's not like he would remember every bit of everything, but when you lucid dream, apparently you remember more of it. And what lucid dreaming, what they talk about with it, like reminds me a lot of like when I wake up from dreams, because there's so many times where I wake up from something and it's like I'm coming back from another world almost. Like, I don't know if you ever have those like crazy waking moments when you wake up from a dream where you don't really remember what happened and you're kind of freaked out.
I don't even remember dreaming, dude. Really,
dude. I've only been dreaming for the last few months. Like, I hadn't dreamed in 2 or 3 years. In the last few months, I've been having all this, like, weird shit happen again. Like I was telling Brittany, I was like, it's so fucking weird because I'm just not used to it. And it's like when I wake up, I have all this, like, shit that, like, I have to think about. Like, what was that? What happened? Like, why did that happen? And then I remember, like, oh, yeah, that was just a dream. Like, none of that really happened.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's got me thinking a lot more.
Yeah, I wish I could dream. I miss dreaming. It was... You actually, if you start feeling normal when you're dreaming, it's weird.
Dude, I feel more freaked out. I want to go back to not dreaming. Or get into lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming sounds so fucking awesome. I want it to be true.
You don't think it's true? What do you mean you want to? I think it's... Are you talking about like the skill of being able to go into it?
Yeah, I mean, it happening and then you realizing like, holy fuck, I'm dreaming right now. Maybe being able to do something seems plausible, but the way I've heard people talk about it, where like, oh shit. Nope, just a little bit. They're actually controlling it, and they're like, oh, I'm going to fly right now. They just take off like Superman, start flying. And then everything, they're creating everything around them. And it's like, dude, like the dude talked about, his mom dying. And when he feels sad about his mom, when he dreams, he'll just go visit his mom in his dream. And like have a full-on conversation.
I don't know. That seems a little far-fetched to me.
See what I mean?
Yeah, that. I thought you were just saying like the whole lucid dream. I was like, yeah, you never had a lucid dream?
No, like being able to control and do what you want with it, like a real lucid dream.
Yeah. I don't really buy because I've had those couple dreams where you like remember when you were a kid you had a sex dream, you can go right back into it. You're like, oh fuck, and but it's very rare. Most of the time you try to go back to sleep, you just can't do it anymore.
You have paper towels out here?
No, it's right here in this cabinet though. No, the other one. You can just leave one out here because there's gonna be some spills. No, what I was saying is like I'm talking about like the ability to. You're getting ready for bed and you're thinking about like what you're going to throw yourself into. I know the mind's powerful. I just don't know about all that.
See, and that's where I'm at with it. Like, I don't know. Like, I've never experienced it. I've experienced the little things that most people talk about, and they talk about it feeling real too. So to imagine like that's actually possible seems, like you said, far fetched. I just don't. But I want it to be real.
Yeah,
it sounds so cool.
Hey, I've been wanting to talk to you about. You know how they're pretty much they know Russia's behind the hacking of the elections.
Yeah, I haven't been reading any news lately.
What I'm curious about now is like why, if they know that's legit, and I know how much work that would cost, and like how much time this would set us back. But you'd almost think like if they know that Donald Trump wasn't supposed to all those were hacked, like wouldn't we be going back and redoing the whole thing over again? I know too much has passed now to let that happen, but it just, to me, it seemed like, I don't know.
See, that's actually stuff's okay. First off, I don't know of any proof that's actually come out that this is true. And when everybody says Russians, we all assume Putin, the Russian government. Mm. I haven't heard of any distinction on whether it was people in Russia hacking into whatever, or government program set up for hacking us by the government. There hasn't been anything. I haven't heard of anything like that, or any separate, or who exactly where it came from, whether it was a government ran thing or if it was some Russian civilians, because that's a complete two different things. Because if it was within the government, then yeah, like the country of Russia is attacking us in a way. But if it's civilians in Russia, that doesn't have anything to do with the Russian government per se.
Yeah, but more than likely the government's behind it.
I mean, how does it benefit us to get into a war with Russia?
No, I'm not saying that at all. But I'm just talking about our elected officials shouldn't be our elected official if that was the case.
I'm just tired of all these like crazy conspiracy theories like running like our thought processes as a whole.
Well, it's like listening to Hillary during the campaigns, blaming everything on Russia. Yeah, I'll get off. I was just curious about that. It's like, I don't know, but all right, let's say if it was 100%, I mean, guaranteed that it was, the Russian government, we still wouldn't change who our elected official was. You know what I mean?
Now that we'd have to actually admit to a lot, and it would change our voting process.
Yeah, that'd be a hard one.
I mean, because there would have to be a revote. We'd have to redo the whole thing.
Yeah.
It would take so much to do that. It's easier just to move forward. Like, I don't know what happened.
Dude, when I was talking to you about that rental car that we had, I like trip out now, dude. Every like fast car that I see now, like I've been like thinking on this like pretty deep for like the last 2 weeks about like how I can care less about fast cars anymore. Because after having this is the first time ever that I've ever driven a fast car, and I realized that like, oh, you can't do anything with it. And that was 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds. You know what I mean? And like these cars that are like 0 to 16, fucking 2.6 seconds. Like, what do you do with that car?
You take it to a track.
Yeah, but think about the people that never take on the track. It's just strictly like their daily driver, and you have all this power. What do you think? What do you think? Like an Evo is like 3.4, right? Somewhere in there. Like it's in the threes, right?
Yeah, but I'd love to drive that car around town all day.
Maybe if it was stick, maybe it'd be a little funner for me. But that car was automatic, and it was just so stupidly fast. It was still fun for me to drive, but I'm saying like I just don't understand like dropping a couple $100,000 on a car, on a fast car, because especially like dropping into the motor when you can't do shit with it.
It's ego,
yeah, I guess.
I mean, kind of the little kid in you, like I want the coolest thing.
Yeah, it would be pretty badass to drive something around that's fucking, slam on the gas.
Imagine driving something around, whether it's a badass classic car or a fucking Lamborghini or Ferrari that everybody's going to turn and look at.
I guess, okay, all right.
Everybody.
All right, let me rephrase that. I had so much fucking fun driving that car, but I'm saying like the things you want to do with that car, you can't do with that car without. I was more afraid in that car than I was on my bike about me getting in trouble.
Well, yeah. I'm always more scared of getting in trouble in the car. You can't get away.
Yeah. Well, not just that, though, but the cops, the CHP especially, is going to come down on you way harder in a car than they would on a bike. Like, dude, that time I'm going up to see Mom and I got pulled over at 103, like, the cop didn't even, wasn't angry at all. So, hey, what's up, man? See, like, if that was in the car, though, and he caught me at 103, like, dude, he would have a field day with me. My car would probably be impounded.
Yeah, I guess the danger factor goes up because, on a bike, you're really only harming yourself. I mean, there is risk to other drivers, but, in a car, you're going to kill somebody else.
Yeah. Way fucking dangerous. Yeah, because on a bike, you're mainly just going to injure yourself.
I mean, it's small. I mean, there's a chance you're going to cause a major accident and somebody else could get killed, but you're definitely more at risk of hurting somebody else in a car. Dude, I'm still amazed at the cars I see come into the tow yard and then seeing the owners from the accident. Like, how are you not injured?
Yeah.
A Focus, after it rained a couple weeks ago, we had to tow it out of a canyon, and it was mangled, and there was nothing wrong with the dude. He came in with the driver of the tow truck. I was like, how are you okay? Like, the technology of these cars is fucking awesome.
Well, too, all the cars are being made with weaker motor mounts, so as soon as it's in collision, the motor mount drops, or the motor drops. You know that?
I didn't hear anything about that.
Yeah, so they started doing it, I think, in 2010. So all the motor mounts are made really weak now. So as soon as it's in a collision, the motor mounts break off and the engine drops. So it's even more protection. Because before, the whole cab, the whole dashboard, everything would be smashed in against. Well, now you don't know. So that's why the front of the car would be smashed to shit because the engine's protecting you.
Well, it seems like if the motor mounts were compromised, that's more dangerous because.
Do it on research it on YouTube. It's pretty fascinating. Like, so yeah, basically the engine drops.
No, I'm not like denying you. It just seems like illogical.
No, I get it. What do you mean?
Now it's free to go more of where it wants if it's losing, what's holding it in place. It seems more dangerous, especially like in a rollover.
I don't even know why I'm trying to talk physics right now.
And I'm really high, and it just doesn't seem logical. It's not computing.
Dude, when we were in Vegas fucking last week, I remember when we were there, how fucking cold it was.
Yeah, I remember being miserable.
Dude, it was not even anywhere near. Cause I was freaking out the entire time, like, fuck, I'm gonna get a bunch of bloody noses. Not one bloody nose. I was so happy.
Dude, you remember doing the zip line?
Yeah.
That was stupid.
I just remember being miserable the entire time. I just want to go back into a casino. But the last time I was there in December...
not worth it, by the way. Sorry to interrupt you. The zip line in Vegas at the Fremont, not worth it.
How much was it? Like $70, $60, something like that?
I think it was like $40 or $50 a person.
Yeah, so stupid. Well, it's not worth it because we've been on cooler zip lines. And that was the first time. It might have been a little cool. But we've been on, badass zip lines, so that's part of the reason why.
Zip lines in Mexico are badass.
And sketchy as fuck. The greatest thing about it is like, okay, here is your safety line, and the safety line was attached to the main line. Wait, what is this? Your safety line. Oh, okay, cool. So if the main line breaks, we're just fucked in general. See,
that was because the first time we ever ziplined, we went to a place that was like, they explained all this. They went like over and beyond to be safe as possible.
That was because we had a fucking stoner guy who wanted to go above and beyond and explain everything.
I've never had that in depth of an explanation of something from someone that high.
I wish we could have. I wish I could have done that like now as an adult. How much I appreciate that. Well, I was an adult then, but I'm saying like more of a respected adult. Like, because I would have loved to have gone and talked to that guy's supervisor and commented on how much extra time he took out from his job to explain shit.
Yeah, because the one dude was talking, the other dude was just kind of like chilling, like whatever.
You're making my job cake. You want to wrap this up?
Are you bored?
No, I'm just fucking really hungry.
Well, we should probably go inside and like hang out.
Yeah.
So we can actually just pause it or stop it, and this can be its own, or we can add whatever later happens to this.
Well, in case we don't, the ModeCast out.
ModeCast out. Out. Out.
ModeCast out. It's a creator.